guys, so this is Daily Drivers. We're back after a little break from YouTube there, just due to the fact that we live in Atlantic Canada and there's just not a lot of daylight for recording this time of year. But we're back with a new car review for you guys today. So we have a 2000 Toyota Camry LE 4-cylinder. It's one of my personal vehicles in my family, so I had pretty easy access to it. Just had to find the time to film, and today's the day. So this Camry is a great daily driver. We drive it all the time, back and forth to work, even still take it on trips to this day. It has 413,000 kilometers on it, so it's been well used, but it is extremely reliable. Just in the last year and a half, we've had to replace a power steering return line, change the oil, change the brake pads, and that's really about it. No worries, no hassles, and I'd recommend a Toyota Camry of this vintage to just about anybody who's looking for a day-to-day vehicle to get back and forth from point A to point B. So you'll notice that the first two reviews of my channel are of Toyota products, and that's no coincidence. My family is pretty big into Toyotas. It's one of our favorite car brands, and we typically stand behind their reliability. As far as that goes, we actually have another one in our family that we might see on the channel down the line. But yeah, like Toyota, you really can't beat in these older generations. I can't really speak much towards the newer ones, but these older generations are just dead reliable. They'll always get you where you need to go, and very rarely will an old Toyota strand you. This one here, we should be able to drive it for the foreseeable future. Really what it comes down to, living in an area that uses salt in the roads and has pretty bad winters, is just maintaining the body, and that's the main thing. So maybe let's discuss driving dynamics and the performance of it a little bit. With the 4-cylinder, the car is definitely not fast. We're looking at 0 to 60 above 10 seconds with this car. From the factory, it was getting about maybe 145 horsepower in that range, and it doesn't feel like that as much anymore either. It feels maybe more like 120 at this point. But it's only a 2.2 liter 4-cylinder double cam, fuel injected. Nothing too fancy, but it gets the job done, and it's one of the more reliable engines Toyota ever made, up there with the 22RE. I'd highly recommend it. Fuel economy is pretty good. Highway, you can get easily 30 miles to the gallon. Even driving around the city, you're going to get at least 21, 22 in that range. So super usable as a daily, even in 2020. The fuel economy is not going to be a penalty for you at all. As far as handling and steering situation goes, the car is pretty floaty. You can definitely feel it wobble back and forth a little bit. And the sway bars and everything in this car are fine. There's no clunks like that or anything. Most of the suspension's been replaced over the years, like stuff that you wear items like shocks and the struts and that sort of thing. But this car is not meant for spirited driving. It's just meant for cruising down the road, going in town a little bit, that sort of thing. Not meant for the back roads, that's for sure. And I would not recommend it for that either. It's not meant for that. But yeah, just the one thing I would say about this car in terms of the driving experience is that it's smooth. The bumps are damped quite well. It's pretty quiet in here for the most part, and you just almost feel like you're gliding down the road. And that's kind of strange for a car that it's not a luxury car. It's just a typical regular old Toyota Camry, and it's very nice to drive. So this particular Camry is an LE trim level, but it comes with a upgrade package, which gives it niceties such as the sunroof you see here above me, leather seating surfaces, and also heated seats. It is not the XLE, so it's missing out on features such as the automatic climate control and the upgraded audio system. But really, it's perfectly fine for day-to-day living without those two features. You don't really miss them that much. And for a 20-year-old daily driver, this does the job perfectly well. We'll have a quick look here at the interior quality on this Camry LE from 2000. Down in the bottom of the door here, it is kind of soft, but it's also quite firm, so not really a great elbow comfort there. The upper door panel here is originally soft, but as you can see, it's ripped over the years from where your elbow would sit, and the inner linings of the door are starting to become visible, but that's all right, and it's to be expected with a vehicle of this vintage. Of course, you get power locks, power windows, and automatic automatic down on the driver side only. Power mirrors, your light dimming feature here, and a couple of blank buttons in behind there, as you can see. The gauge cluster, pretty straightforward, nothing too fancy, just enough to get the job done. You have your digital clock up here, and here's your radio and your temperature control settings here. The radio is pretty standard, straightforward, CD. It's a double DIN size, so you could easily change this out for a newer unit if you had that inclination. The car also comes with AC, which still works. It's nice to have. And yeah, so that's pretty straightforward there, easy to use, kind of a classic Toyota, pretty short learning curve there. And the passenger side of the dash, one thing about this car that I wish would be a little bit different is the color scheme. As you can see, it's gray on slightly lighter gray. It's not exactly inspiring, but you know, it gets the job done, and it doesn't intrude on your day-to-day life. All right, so I thought before we'd wrap up the video, we'd take the car out on the highway and just see how it does. Maybe do a little 80 to 100 kilometer an hour acceleration. See how leisurely that goes, and we'll take it from there and wrap up the video. All right, so we're going to merge out here in a brief second. Got time, and we're on to the highway. Now, this car came with a optional 3-liter V6, the 1MZ FE V6 with VVTi back in the day, and I've had cars with that motor in it as well, and I had no complaints there either. It was also quite reliable. The extra power was nice. It gave you that little extra oomph, and the fuel economy penalty really wasn't that severe, maybe 2 to 3 miles per gallon combined, if that. So if you found one of these Camrys with the V6, yeah, sure, go for it. You probably have a little bit more fun, and you won't really feel the penalty too much when you hit the pump. So yeah, if you find that, go for it. So we're on the highway here. We're just going to find an opportunity to get down to 80 if we can. There's a little bit of traffic actually for a Sunday afternoon. Okay, so we're gonna do it in about 5 seconds when I'm down to 80, and I'll let you guys know when we reach 110. And we're walking on it. And there's 100. Sorry, I said 110. We meant 100. But it's not too bad. It doesn't sound too bad for a 4-cylinder. And when it all comes down to it, it gets the job done. So that's going to be a wrap today, guys, on this 2000 Toyota Camry LE. It's been an awesome experience so far making these videos for you, and I really appreciate the support on the Matrix video. That's gotten a lot more views than I thought it was going to get from a channel that's just starting up, and I really look forward to making more videos. Let me know down in the comments if there's anything you'd like to see, any changes you'd like to recommend, that sort of thing, and I'll read those. In the last video there was a few questions, and I answered those as best I could. Really appreciate that as well. And subscribe, tell your friends, tell anybody who's into cars about the channel, and we'll keep growing together, hopefully. So we'll see you next time here on Daily Drivers. I really appreciate it. See you guys.